Good morning, everybody. It's Sebs. We're back for another Norm Macdonald live reaction, baby. Pretty excited. So this one seems to be a little longer, so we are still gonna do two parts, but you know, this is an hour and 25 minutes, so 85 minutes. We might do 40 minutes for part one, 45 minutes for part two. I'm getting my watch going here. So that's what we're going to do here. I really appreciate the suggestions. And also with the comments, I know I've been struggling getting the audio balance right with these for some reason, but I think we got it. I think we're good now. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sebs, and I do all my reactions from the treadmill. And we have recently been on a Norm Macdonald obsessions, on a Norm Macdonald obsession, Norm Macdonald kick, whatever. That's what's going down. And to my returning viewers, welcome back. Hit like and subscribe again if you haven't. It means a lot. It helps a lot. Thank you so much for the donations to the family, to the channel. Really appreciate you, and hopefully we can keep the channel growing. So without further ado, let's get into this. Again, we'll probably do 40 minutes today, and then we'll finish this out on the next video. Let's do this, baby. And a lot of you guys commented. Okay, two of you guys commented this was your favorite episode. I'm excited to see why. I don't, right off the top of my head, I don't know who Fred Stoller is. So, but here we go. Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to Norm Macdonald Live, our third podcast. And I could not be more excited about this podcast until about 10 minutes ago, because our guest was going to be the great Robert Blake.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Blake, and I always have since I was a little kid, because I watched Beretta, which was my favorite show. And that's probably before your time, Adam Egget.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
My trusty sidekick, Adam Egget.
Don't worry, no.
And
he said his name right.
You didn't know Robert
Adam
Blake,
Egret.
probably.
No.
But in the 70s, they had these shows that were detective shows.
Right.
And but most of them were kind of corny. Like they had Frank Cannon, who was played by William Conrad.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, now that I think of it, most of the detectives back then had something wrong with them.
What was wrong with Cannon?
Huge, obese man. He was a fat man, and he'd chase down the criminals, and then he would karate chop them on the neck. That's how he ended up getting them. He knew how to karate. And at the end, it'd be him eating like a big dish of pasta with some lady. Anyways, and Longstreet was blind.
Jesus.
He was a detective, was blind, and he relied on his dog
Could
a
he just
lot.
smell? Oh,
and a lot of times he'd go, there's a clue underneath this girl's, skirt. The dog knew where Longstreet wanted to go.
And they had luck solving the cases?
But I'm saying they were very corny kind of sick of. But then Beretta, it was like Martin Scorsese had made a detective.
Good.
He was a tortured guy. You know how now all the superheroes are conflicted?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. But I like this guy. He was conflicted, And
Wonder why.
And it had the greatest theme song.
I've dived deeper.
I said, let's get Robert Blake.
I
Yeah,
freaking
it would
love
have been a great guest.
superheroes.
He's engaging.
How exciting that going to be? And we got him on. I got him on the phone only for 5 seconds.
What happened?
Daniel Kellison apparently was on the phone for an hour.
How did that go?
I don't think it went well.
Probably not.
But I got his book. One of the things was, you've got to read my book.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he's not coming.
Yeah.
And I read his entire book.
Oh, that's...
And it was great. It was one of the best books, celebrity memoirs I've ever read.
Good, then you should plug it anyway. You liked it.
It's called Tales of a Rascal.
Because he was on the Little Rascals.
Of course.
Right.
But I think there's it's drenched in irony as well.
Yeah, sure.
Tales of a Rascal, Robert Blake, What I Did for Love. So it covers everything. He pulls no punches.
One of my favorite roles of all time was him in David Lynch's Lost Highway. Just riveting.
I never saw that.
Amazing.
Never saw that
But
either.
David Lynch likes me.
That's bizarre, even for Lynch. That's amazing, though. That's really cool.
David Lynch.
What?
We should get him on the show.
David
I'm a
Lynch.
big
That'd be great.
transcendental
You
meditator.
put him on the
So
old list.
it's my only connection with
Oh,
David
the
Lynch.
list. We have a list. We have a list of guests we're trying to get. And we don't have a list, do we?
Well, I always carry it around with me. You never know when you're going to need the list.
Is that the list?
This is the list. I always carry it around with me.
This is the list. This is guests
People
we're
still
trying to
carry
get for the
paper?
show.
Yeah, it's a long list.
It's really long. And they run the gamut from Al Franken. I mean, he's what is he, a senator?
Yeah, he's a senator. He's somewhat attainable, you know?
Alison Brie.
Don't know her.
Oh, come on. Something you're never supposed to say on a TV show? That you've never heard of someone on the list?
She's on Community, right?
What's wrong with you?
Am I thinking of the right chick?
Andy Dick, I think he'd be good.
Yeah, he'd be great.
Oh, I'm excited for
Arsenio
that episode.
Hall, and then after that it says, if
Oh, that'd
needed.
be cool.
Yeah, I never understood. There's about 5 people with parentheses that says if needed, but they're just at random. Makes no sense.
Anyway,
Who else on the list, Norm?
Bill Murray. We can take him off the list.
We can't.
No, there's a lot of people.
Any other?
Anne Murray?
Oh, Anne Murray. Who's in? I mean,
How
I know.
many
You know who put
episodes
Anne
does this
Murray
have,
on the
by the
list,
way?
Daniel? Do you even know Anne Murray?
I mean, I've heard the name. I know she was a singer or something. Tell me about Anne Murray.
there's quite a bit of.
She's just an old lady. She's like 75. I think she lives in Prince Edward Island or
there's a lot.
something.
Is that close by or?
No, it's
I'm
about
excited.
as far as could be. I don't think there's any 2 points of the
He has an
North
episode with
American
Caitlyn
continent
Jenner?
farther than Los Angeles.
Sorry, I'm gonna focus here.
And
Well, I mean, she.
Spring Hill.
That'll be fun.
Well, I mean, she's probably available.
Running
What do you
for
think she's
governor?
up
Oh,
to
she's
right now?
available. What's she up to?
Yeah, what do you think she's doing?
walking down the street going, I'm Anne Murray.
Oh yeah.
So, not a good chance of getting her to fly down here.
But anyways, God, this is a huge list. Oh, you know what else there's news in our little life?
Yeah.
That we're going to do that Masters
Oh, right,
live.
right.
Explain to the folks what it is, because I did it one time before.
Explain to the folks
Well,
at home.
basically, it's people.
Explain to the folks on the
folks at
camera.
home. What you guys can do is tune into the Masters on television there, and you can turn down the volume and listen to Norm and some friends partially commentate the golf and also talk.
Yeah, it
about
seems like Norm's way into the Masters. This year he was
Tune in.
like live
to
tweeting the
Masters.
entire
I
thing.
believe
Hey.
that's this weekend.
Robert Blake, when he met Steve McQueen, is one of the coolest stories I've ever read. When I read this book, because I'm trying to write a book, they want me to write a book. Anyways, you can tell this guy wrote this.
Check that book
And
out,
you can
guys.
also tell he should have been a writer, and he should have been a poet.
No.
But anyway, he's not here. He's not here. But you know who is here?
No, who's here?
Fred Stoller.
Guy doesn't live
See,
in
what's
here.
good about this is he's got stories about Steve McQueen. He's got stories about Mickey Rooney, Ava Gardner.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time, Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum, he's got
What
stories.
an actor.
Fred Stoller also has stories, but nearly half of them are about Dom Irrera.
Well, it says right on the front here, Fred Stoller is always funny. Chris Rock. He's got to
Chris
be
Rock?
good. Yeah.
Fred Stoller is always funny. Well, we'll put that to the test
He always.
tonight. No, thank God for Fred Stoller.
No, seriously. Oh, he's a hilarious guy.
He's a hilarious guy, and he's got a fascinating story. But also, Fred Stoller was telling me he wants to be on podcasts, like as a guest,
Yes.
and he actively tries to get on podcasts.
Absolutely, yes, he does.
And is rejected. Except by us.
Yeah, we're used to be the guys getting rejected.
Yeah. But anyways, he's gonna be great. Oh, also, this is I think exciting. You ever hear? There's a big late night shakeup.
Yeah.
What do you know of that? What do you know?
Well, I
of
know
that?
that Leno.
How would you encapsulate that? Without talking too much, and make it for someone who doesn't know anything about this late night shakeup.
Well, I believe what's happening. You
man.
mean these specifics? I believe
Yeah.
that Fallon is taking over Leno's
Jimmy
spot.
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon is taking over Leno's spot.
I don't look
and
like
then
that
Leno
mother
is
effer.
moving over to
Sorry,
Fox.
I just don't like him.
No, he's not
No.
moving to Fox.
That's speculative.
Okay, so he may or may not be moving to Fox. He's moving somewhere. And
He's retiring.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
I thought you could encapsulate it for the folks at
No,
home.
you'd be mistaken.
Well, try again, and I'll just correct.
Okay, so I believe Jimmy Fallon is moving to Jay Leno's spot.
Yes, Jimmy Fallon will be the host of The Tonight Show.
Got it. And is anything happening with
Jay Leno is retiring,
Jay Leno's retiring.
which will leave a spot at 12:30 on NBC.
Okay.
Jimmy Kimmel has the 11:30 spot on ABC. I don't know what follows him. Nightline, perhaps. Maybe they flip-flop.
Right.
Conan O'Brien
Conan.
is over on the Dumont Network or some fucking thing. And who else is there? Chelsea Handler beats them all, and no one seems to care. And is there anybody else?
No.
But anyways, the point is, who? Oh, and David Letterman.
And Ferguson.
And Craig Ferguson.
Right.
And so David Letterman is 65.
I used to like.
Where you used to
Late
have to
night show.
retire, I think. You know,
Late night
Walter
show,
Frey
late
had
night
to
TV.
retire at 65.
It's
Isn't
early.
that amazing?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
I don't know much.
Yeah, at 65, he had to retire because at that time because that was years ago. You know,
Leno's younger than Letterman, right?
he is 62, and Letterman is 65.
Oh.
But the problem is, if Letterman retires, CBS doesn't know what to do because they have to put a Scotchman in there, a Scottish guy, Craig Ferguson,
Right.
and they're afraid that people, at 11:30, older people, might not want to listen to a Scottish brogue. And
Well,
also his sidekick is a skeleton.
Much prefer that than Steve Colbert. Jeez.
It is?
You've never seen the
I've
show?
never seen the show.
Well, it's
I used to
fascinating
like
because
Steve Colbert,
he
man.
just talks. Like he I don't know if he uses writers, but he's a fantastic you've never seen anything like Craig Ferguson. I love him.
It's just a Scotsman talking to a skeleton.
Well, the skeleton is his sidekick is a corpse. Which apparently Les Moonves
CBS.
has some problems with. He's saying, why not spend the extra money and get a corporeal person? You know what I mean? Sure, you save money, grave robbing every night, because apparently Craig Ferguson has to change because the stench becomes unbearable in the studio after a few days.
I would imagine.
Cut to Craig Ferguson out at the local cemetery with a shovel.
You think they'd spring in and get
Old-fashioned
some-
grave
yeah.
robbing. But anyways, my point is this. I don't know what to watch anymore
Well,
with all the shuffling. So I look at Entertainment Weekly because every week this publication, this periodical.
What was I doing that I didn't start watching
You're an
the
authority
show
on the
earlier?
subject.
First,
man?
They'll know-
Entertainment
Tell
Weekly.
you what to
What was I
watch.
So they'll
doing
tell
with
you
my
what to
life,
watch.
bro?
So anyways, I'm perusing it.
Okay.
So this is what I found out about the word peruse. You think it means scan,
what I
but it
thought.
actually means reading very carefully.
Oh.
So the next time you're talking to one of your intelligent Hollywood friends, and they say peruse, you go, what the fuck are you talking about? Peruse means to study carefully.
So you studied this
Actually,
carefully.
no.
wouldn't you?
Yes, and what they have is they have the must list, the top 10 things we love this week, things you must see.
Okay.
And anyways, look at this, number 6. Oh, here it is. It's our show. It's our program.
shit.
Isn't that bizarre?
Fuck.
That shouldn't be in their fucking thing.
My name should not be in any publication.
No, that definitely. Did you think that? Like 3 weeks ago when we started,
No.
you were just a filthy bum.
Yeah.
And now these retards put your name in a fucking magazine. It says the Saturday Night Live alum. I don't know what that alum. What does that mean?
Means he used to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Is using his deadpan charm and irreverence to full effect on his riotous new video podcast where he and co-host Adam Egget, that's you,
Shocking.
will welcome guests like Russell Brand, Bob, maybe.
Here's what to see.
I think, my theory is this went to press before they found out about Fred Stoller.
I think it's a good possibility.
Russell Brand, he is coming. The great Russell Brand, who I asked for from the first day,
Love Russell.
because I find him amazing.
Yeah.
And
He's a really
Bob
interesting
Saget,
guy, man.
old friend.
I
and the
still
great
watch his
Seth
stuff.
Rogen.
He's-
So look at that, we're number
He's like
6.
super enlightened.
That's
right?
amazing. That's fantastic.
Isn't that funny?
What does this have to do with late night?
Well, we have a show. We're talking to each other,
Right.
and I was looking. I thought, well, maybe you must see. First of all, you know, I don't want you must see it. Really,
Right.
really, Entertainment Weekly.
You don't want anybody telling
I
you
don't
what
want
to do.
anybody fucking tell me what I must see. You know what I mean? I must see that video. I was going to show you where the girl shoves her foot up that dude's asshole.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
get that vision out of my mind. I remember it. Yeah.
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 But anyways, first you're happy. This is the nature of being a human being, right?
Right.
You're like, we're number 6 in the must-see list. But since my point was, since none of the other late-night shakeups, I'm starting to think they want us to move over to one of those spots.
To the late night spots?
Yes.
I don't think that's
Think
right.
about it.
Oh, that would have been.
Think about
oh
it.
man, that
What would
would've
it
been
cost them? 0?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, there's 0 money put into
We
this,
make
so-
0.
Yeah.
So why would they pay $6-7 million for Horatio Sands? Or, I don't know who's is he up for it?
I have no idea.
Or I read today RuPaul. Honest to God.
Really?
Well, because on the computer, when something happens, they have to write a story. So they're like, 15 people who should have their own talk show. And
Sounds like our fucking list. They're just
RuPaul
putting
was
names
on
down.
one of them, and Chavez, the guy who fucking just died, I think he was on it. Like, it was very politically correct. It was trying to get everybody.
Yeah, why not us? We're number 6.
We're
on the
number
fucking
6.
Must list.
Yeah. But then you go, who's number 5? That's human nature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start getting mad. Like, why are we 6? Why aren't we number 1? Like, you know what number 1 is?
Uh-huh.
Game of Thorns.
It's Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Sure. Well, what the fuck is that? Whoever watched that?
I mean,
Now,
I've
you
seen
telling me that's better than Norm Macdonald Live?
I mean, I don't want to say it's better than. I mean, a lot of people watch it. It's a pretty popular show.
What's it about?
It's
They have
about,
pictures of
like,
ladies?
Yeah, ladies and knights and kings and midgets and dragons.
Sounds like my honeymoon.
Who's in our rearview mirror? Who do we have?
Yeah. Yes.
What do you mean?
Like, who's behind us on the list?
Oh, behind us on the list?
What do we got? Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots
number 8.
is number 8.
Yeah.
Sounds like my honeymoon.
There's just the way he looks.
Well, look, 6 isn't a bad place to be. I think I'm just
Except for
happy.
the dragon. There was no dragon.
No, there's a dragon on Game of
No,
Thrones.
in my honeymoon.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
How could there be a dragon
Good point.
singeing my fucking balls with their fire?
Jeez.
Did you ever think there actually was a dragon when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Me too.
I thought a lot of things when I was a kid. I
What
still
else?
do. Santa
What was that
Claus
story you
and-
told me when you were a kid?
UFOs, man.
Just before the show?
Are you talking about the airplane story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I was a kid. I was 13 years old. You're talking about that story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you must know, I mean, it's a true story. I was
Well,
on
tell the folks at home.
Oh, God, Norm. I was telling you that when I was 13 years old, and we have a news story that we were going to cover, and I wasn't sure if we should, and it's about how they're making airplanes, they're putting more seats on airplanes, and the way they're cutting space is in the bathrooms. And I was concerned, like, where, I thought about where am I going to go to jack off, because I get nervous on flights and stuff. And a lot of people do it. I don't know. But when I was 13, I went in there and I did that. And some lady walked in on me, and she was like 2 seats over, and you just had to stare, just staring at me in disgust for like 5 hours straight. It was a long flight.
Oh my
You sure you want me
gosh,
to
dude.
talk about? I mean, you really want me to?
It was a
cover
different
the-
story.
It was
But
a
anyway,
different
forget about that. But what is it? They're making this thing smaller? They're too fucking small for me when I wasn't a big
This is
fucking
bugging
fat
me,
guy.
I feel like you're gaining weight. Like you're on a
This is
diet.
bugging me.
What did we eat before we did the show?
The freaking audio is like not.
Chicken.
What was it called? Honey
I
kettle
download.
chicken?
I did, or did I download it? How did? The audio isn't in sync for me. It's kind of annoying. Sorry, guys.
Why so
And
much
it's-
for
and
the
it's
extra
not for you.
gravy?
Just we'll keep listening. We'll make
You
do.
feel like a trough of gravy. I've never
was
seen
a-
that much
no,
gravy.
that was a lot of gravy.
You just
I drank
devoured
the
it too.
gravy.
You really did.
What I do is I eat the chicken and I devour. I went to my doctor because I'm getting so many.
Good. You should.
I'm getting so many. That's what's good about this show is I'm getting all this feedback about how huge and fat I am. So I go to the doctor, and I tell the doctor,
Gosh, I love this
he's
guy.
like, why are you so fat? And so I said, that'd be funny. Most guys try to lose weight,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I try to become a huge fat guy. So anyways, he said, that's not funny. He says, that's alarming.
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny,
Yeah,
too.
it's pretty funny.
But he said that it's quite alarming and that I'm in a lot of trouble. And I said, well, I think it's funny, and I'm the comedian. So I said, let's agree to disagree. And then you know what he said?
Well
I say
said,
that a
Norm.
lot.
Yeah, you do. You say that constantly.
Yeah, that's my out.
That's a
It's
great
Especially when I'm
That's
wrong.
everything.
Especially when I'm wrong.
Right.
I'll argue and argue, and I go, I guess we have to agree to disagree. Anyways, this fucker, he goes, no. I go, what? I thought you had to agree to disagree.
Well, the customer's always right.
He goes, I
Just-
will
that's
not
pretty-
agree to this is a true story. He goes, I will not agree to disagree. I will disagree.
What'd you say?
I said, what's the distinction? I don't understand. Isn't agreeing to disagree the same, essentially, as
Thing as to
disagreeing?
disagree?
No, says he. It's not. He says, if I agree to disagree, he goes, it gives more credence to your side of the argument. He goes, it sounds like we have two separate arguments, both of which have merit, and then I'm saying that some of your points are valid, and you're saying some of my points are valid.
But he's saying that zero.
And he's saying no.
Yeah.
He's saying that would be as unconscionable for him as to agree with a Holocaust revisionist.
Oh, jeez.
And I said, are you going to bring up the fucking Holocaust every time you give me a physical? This guy, he's got a tattoo. He's 96. I know his
Oh, man.
backstory.
Jeez.
I don't even afford to go to the doctor right now.
You can't afford to go
Well,
to the
I
doctor?
can't afford to go.
Yeah, well-
Certainly, this isn't going to fucking. We're number 6 on the must list. I don't know. I'm fucking dying.
Yeah, well, you're a young man. What, do you got any symptoms? I know a lot of stuff.
Bleeding from my anus. Internally, I think. I mean, no, that's not a joke. That's true.
That's
not a
what's it
joke.
called?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
I've been around jokes my whole life. and
Right. Well, I mean, I wasn't
Pretty
trying to be
sure.
funny.
Oh, I
That's
see what
true.
you mean,
Yeah.
So you're.
I'm bleeding internally, I think.
So, what's the
Hemorrhoid?
color of the blood that's coming out of
Well,
your
the good
anus?
thing is it's not dark. It's
Oh,
not
that's
dark.
good.
It's brighter.
If it's bright red, it's
Yeah.
coming from the rectal area.
Oh, okay.
It's not as dangerous.
Well, that's good. I haven't had a physical since I was 16. I'm terrified.
And you're 31?
34. It's been a while.
Yeah.
About 18 years. So hopefully, number 6 on the must list. Maybe the money will start coming. I'll be able to see that doctor. You know what I mean?
You're really bleeding from your
Yeah,
anus?
I really am.
Because
He's
you
gonna say
gave
gay
up
joke.
that entire lifestyle that would make me think you were still bleeding from the anus, but you told me you'd given that all up.
You're talking about alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how you love to go to those bars and get real drunk,
Yeah.
and then the next day you'd wake up and you'd be bleeding from the anus.
Oh, jeez.
Well, no, I think it was alcohol related. I think what you're
No, I'm
implying-
saying.
Okay, good.
No, not implying anything.
Yeah.
You're inferring something, but I'm not implying anything. I'm saying straight out, you would black out.
Oh, yeah.
You'd drink your Wild Turkey 101.
Glenlivet.
You like your Glenlivet.
Yeah.
You like your Jack Daniels. And
Sure.
your Jim Beam.
Absolutely.
Never a lady's name.
No. I never really thought
Interesting.
about that.
Yeah. Do they have booze that have ladies' names?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they do.
Because to me, it's Shirley Temple. I don't think that has booze in it.
Well, they have a dirty Shirley. Well, it's
A dirty Shirley
it's a
Temple.
Shirley Temple with vodka in it. I miss booze.
There's this guy, Chance Langton. Do you know him? He's a comic.
No.
But he said when he was a young boy, he loved Shirley Temple. He was 5 and she was 5. The next year, he saw her in a mall. He was 6, she was 50.
I blacked out. I didn't even hear the whole fucking thing.
I know you blacked out because I can feel the droplets of blood.
As soon as we started talking about
jeez.
Glenlivet, I just kind of went to another place. It's been 10 months, and I'm just like,
10 months
yeah.
that you've been off.
Yeah.
You've been off the sauce.
Off the sauce.
booze.
Off the booze.
Attaboy.
I wonder how long you'll last.
Well, fuck, Norm. I mean, hopefully a while.
Not many do.
I mean, I quit, you know?
Whoop-de-doo. We're going to have Fred Stoller out next.
I'm looking forward to...
Did you read the book?
I didn't read the book.
Oh, come on.
Well, I was reading the fucking Robert Blake book. I thought we were
Okay,
going
you
to get
pretend
Robert.
that you read the book?
Not now.
Well, no, because you just admitted you didn't read it.
I know.
Well, anyway, we'll have the great Fred Stoller out, and what
He's
else? We're going
hilarious.
to talk about what?
We're going to talk about some news stories, and we got jokes later.
Yeah, of course, we always have our jokes, you
Yeah.
know, because
They're coming less and less now, I'll be honest.
without the jokes,
Yeah.
you know. But Fred Stoller will be with us when we return, and let's not talk about your ass and shit all the time.
No, I don't want to talk about
It's
it.
unseemly. It's unsettling. It's both unsettling and unseemly. To me. You know what I mean?
No, I do. I mean, you brought up health, and you asked about my health. I was just trying to be honest. You know?
Yeah, but you're as fit as a fiddle.
Sure, let's go with that.
Well, you are. I think you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fred Stoller when we come back.
Say it to the camera.
Fred Stoller when we come back. Like that.
Oh man.
Okay,
What a
Fred,
great
look
way
right
to
in the
walk,
camera,
man.
Say hello. Tell your video
Oh,
date a little
I know
bit
who
about
that.
yourself.
Okay. She was a
Hi,
hooker.
I
That
live
guy.
on the edge.
No, she was a hooker.
Nothing matters to me. I am nuts. You know what I did today? I drank milk that expired yesterday. I don't care. Life's too
This is
short. I live
amazing.
for today. Okay. Also, you know what I did? I was at a deli. I bought an apple. I ate it right there without washing it first.
It's like that
You
kid
might be
singing that
right.
song about Fauci.
I'll do it again. I don't care.
So that was a video that Fred
Oh,
Stoller, our
man.
first guest, made years and years ago. And to put it in context, Rodney
Oh,
Dangerfield
gosh.
had.
A real one.
Mile
Well,
in.
here's Fred.
You wanted to show it because you thought it was a good thing. You forgot.
I
you
forgot.
confused it with Ralph and Rodney.
Yes, because I knew that it was based on Rap and
I
Rodney.
was pathetically thinking, how do I launch myself? I'm not just a schmucky actor. You got to be proactive,
Yeah.
like Rocky, and write a script. And that's what I wrote.
Do you want me to read your intro?
I'm sorry. Sure.
No, do you want me to? We don't have to.
Whatever.
Tonight's guest is a great comedian.
They just
Who
laugh.
made this go from number 6 on the must list to off it?
No. He played Gerard on Everybody. Was it Gerard? You had a French name? I saw the show. He played Gerard on Everybody Loves Raymond and has been in very funny movies like Gold Member,
I had one line, yeah.
The Wayans Brothers' Little Man.
From the people, it was advertised from the people who brought you white chicks. That was the thing on the marquee, and then
Oh,
Little
man,
Man.
that's
Then when they
amazing.
did the next one, they didn't mention Little Man in the next Wayne Brothers movie.
And Dumb and Dumber, of course.
Classic.
That was classic, and your scene was classic. He also plays a cat
I can't
in the
remember that
open
scene.
season animated films. You don't?
No, it was a DVD. Yes, I forgot. Yes,
You did do that?
but I didn't get a copy, so I forgot I was a cat. They sometimes send you a copy.
What do you mean you played a cat? You did a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You remember when they had these it's your introduction?
I'm
It's gonna
still,
come
there's a
stories, I'm sorry.
long introduction.
Yeah, it's
His new book is called Maybe We'll Have You Back. Maybe We'll Have You Back, The Life of a Perennial TV Guest Star. Okay, so that's your introduction.
That's it, yeah.
I keep spelling perennial wrong and spell check.
Perennial's a hard word to write.
And I should know
is.
it because it's the title that I made up.
Yeah.
And this is like I always. I don't
No,
know
I'm
why
just reading
laughing.
your blurbs, but go
Okay.
ahead.
I
Talk
always,
to Adam Egget for a second.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm just happy you're here.
I'm just.
I'm going to read the blurbs.
Okay.
This is from Jeff Garland, actor/comedian.
Oh,
Is he a
gosh.
comedian?
Yeah, he does stand up.
He would know. You
Store.
manage the comedy
That's
store.
right, yeah, he's
so
there a lot.
You go to him. He tells you.
Freddie Stoller, he says, is smart and handsome.
He's saying that in like, hey, you're
ironic.
handsome. He's not really thinking I'm handsome.
He's basically calling you ugly.
Yes, he's more like, hey, handsome man. He does this thing where you say,
As a
hi.
matter of fact, the handsomeness gets in the way of the smart and funny. He keeps calling you ugly. While reading this book, I couldn't help but think of Freddie's good looks. This is
didn't
drenched
read it.
in irony. He's calling you
Yeah.
ugly 3 times. So that's not much.
No, but
Jay Moore, Fred is as good at writing jokes as anyone in the business in any era.
I think it was the 40s before they did topical jokes, when people just slipped.
He's also quite an underrated storyteller. I didn't know that. I thought you were always known as a great storyteller.
Well, maybe because you only.
I've
my
heard you
stories.
called a poor man's Mike Birbiglia.
Mike Birbiglia.
What is it?
Birbiglia.
Have you ever heard yourself called a poor man's Mike
called-
Birbiglia?
I was
At
called
least
the-
you can pronounce your fucking last
Mike
I was
name.
called the
dude.
poor man's Emo Phillips.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, they flew me. Remember show London Underground?
Sure, I did that.
They fly you.
With that Henry guy.
I don't remember.
There was a
like-
black guy and a white guy when I did it.
I did a white guy, and they fly you out.
Wasn't the one Dennis Leary hosted for a while?
Yeah, but I didn't do that one. So they fly you out, $5,000 first class, and
I remember that because we made nothing.
Yes.
You'd go to give you $300 at evening at the Improv,
Right.
Or Improv Tonight, or Improv. They had like 5
this is-
improv shows. But the English guys, they didn't know, so they would fly us first class, right?
They
Stay
got
a
us.
week in London.
and then they yeah, I remember like they had me follow Emo
This is
Phillips, and I
fascinating,
went
by the
late
way.
in the thing, and I'm
I'm just-
bombing.
forgot I
and
was
I'm
doing
going,
this.
They think like another American guy doing this guy, but a bad version because he's really I'm weird, and
And he's probably big in England.
yeah. Do you remember? We were at a place Swingers, not like a crazy thing, but the restaurant, right?
When we met Emo?
And he was cursing me out because I stopped doing stand-up. Remember?
Yes.
He goes, "How you fucking spit on the ultimate high, the ultimate thing." You know, because I disrespected stand-up. Because how could you not want to do the ultimate thing? I said I'm doing guest spots. I work with Peter Boyle and Charles Stern. He goes, "That's great. Wow. Okay, you do." So then all of a sudden he went back to the emo voice. Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that?
Well, I remember, and also Emo, I saw him once, and he had, I didn't. It was probably the same time. I didn't recognize him because he had
Because he had
gray
a
hair.
girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend.
Said,
He got married.
But yeah, he said, you can't do this. You know, I've had some girlfriends go, I don't want to be known as the woman.
Because
who-"
for the people at home, they should know.
For the people at home, right?
Emo Phillips
He went,
dressed
"Hi, I'm
like
Emo."
he let everybody. His dress and his hairstyle
It
was
was
that
like,
of
what was it, the Dutch boy?
a retard, a Dutch boy, or a retard.
Oh,
Yeah, and
jeez.
he'd have overalls and go like this.
Yeah, and he go.
I cringe every time he
And
says
his
that.
jokes were
Great,
fantastic.
great.
It's hilarious.
And, "Ah." And some people would go, I bumped into Emo, he did his real voice. I talked to him.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, that's a big honor.
Somebody told me he did a number of characters before falling upon that one. Did you ever hear that?
No. Is it like Dennis Miller, who was a juggler first, or did props? Did you ever hear that?
No.
I never
Yes,
heard
he
that.
did
Word?
props in Philly, Pittsburgh.
Really?
And, yeah, and then all of a sudden,
Wow.
yes, a lot of people like,
It's amazing.
you know, did things, and then you know, Dice Clay, you heard that
That's
story.
right. People did
No,
do things.
So he was doing a little. He did like Jerry Lewis turns into the Nutty Professor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he did, you know.
Well, I
Saturday
always
Night
thought
Fever.
that because he loves Jerry Lewis, and
Yeah.
I watched that Nutty Professor like a couple of years ago, and that character Buddy Love is
That's- yeah.
almost exactly, even the way he lights a cigarette.
That's yeah. Then he said, "Oh, this dice thing for," and I pathetically tried being the thrill seeker. Go, none of this is working. I'll do a video. It'll be just like Rappin' Rodney, but the difference was Rodney Dangerfield is a superstar.
Yeah.
I was a schmuck walking around the Beverly Center and going home and napping.
Yeah.
And
I need to do
you
some
know,
more Rodney
and no one
Dangerfield.
knew the thrill seeker, and he had stars. He had Pat Benatar and Rappin'
Yeah.
Rodney, so it was different. It was. This was even. This
So
was.
let's talk about Dice. Did you start? You knew
I was
Dice.
saying-
You were in New York, though.
No, Pips. There was a club Pips. Did you ever hear of
Is this
that?
Andrew Clay
It was
Dice?
Like
Is that
David
who's he's
Brenner
talking
helped
about?
start it. He gave money.
Sticks Brenner.
We did reaction to
What?
him.
No, I went to his. I went to his pool hall, and it has all the greatest pool players in
Get
the world
outta
in
here.
pictures. But then one is him, and it says Sticks
Well,
Brenner.
it's funny because he's like a skinny guy like me, right? But he, when I worked on the Brenner show, he decided he was a tough guy. Oh, when I was, well, that's not his voice. Hey, funny, and I'm like, funny. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Yeah, I punched the guy in the head. You know, you didn't know that David Brennan was trying to be a
I didn't know he was being
tough
a tough
guy.
guy. No,
Yeah.
no.
I,
Colin Quinn told me about Andrew Dice Clay that when he had already crested
Dice
and
Clay,
was
yeah.
kind of falling down,
Did I say Andrew
Colin
Clay
said,
Dice
what
earlier?
if you just change your image completely, and I'll write you jokes, but
Right.
they'll be very high tone jokes. So that I can't do an impression, but he'd be like, hey.
Hey.
You know, I was reading the Cahiers de Cinema the other day. You can't go wrong with Jean-Luc Godard. Oh!
well, you know who really did that? Bobcat Goldthwait. He was the guy.
That's true. He
Well,
escaped his personality.
No. But then he decided to do jokes about gun control and being liberal.
But with the voice.
But he was doing it and made no sense. He go, why? If I have an NRA membership, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, he did do that.
And if I'm an NRA member, can't the I can't think of an example. But remember?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Can you do him? Like do a serious
Bobcat,
political joke by Bobcat, but he's still stuck in it because he still does stand up, but he's very good.
Right.
He'll go into the
One of the
thing.
funniest guys around. But yeah, he had that short period of time. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where he did
There's a
very
lot of one of the
serious
funniest people,
anti-Reagan jokes and stuff. And,
But as a
how
guy-
many people? I can't do him either.
How many people? All I know is if he's the guy with the hand on the button, I'm going. How am I doing that?
It seems like one of us should be able to do him.
Yeah.
He'd be a great guest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Put
I
him
like,
at-
I'm here to help.
Put
you
him as an
think
if
of better
needed, man.
people. I'm here. Or
I like that you want to get on podcasts,
the
but can't.
saddest thing was, this book. Don't worry. I did a thing, a Kindle single, which helped this. Called My Seinfeld
Now
Year.
explain to the folks what a Kindle single is.
Okay, folks. There was I had this book for I shouldn't say it took 10 years because people go whatever. I had it. It sat in my computer, and publishers they'd go, we want more sex, and I go, yeah, I want more sex too, or they go, we want a happier ending. One person go, we like it. It's a quirky, fun story, but
You said,
we'd
I'd like a happier ending too.
yeah, they
you
go.
just kept doing
they
that
thought
joke?
I went from show to show, and then I'm on Parks and Recreation. Here I am,
Oh, I see.
home
Right,
at last.
right.
You know what I mean? It was just more walking
was on
around
Parks
the
and
road
Rec?
at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Who was he
but
there?
No,
Well, don't tell the ending.
no. It's a happy.
But we're talking before this. We're talking about the Kindle single.
Okay, so
The frick is he on
because
basically,
this
Parks
is
and Rec?
not a Kindle single.
no.
Okay, so what? I'll tell it. Freddie has 2 books.
No.
He has one which is a Kindle single,
think
which is not technically a book.
No.
So first, what's a Kindle single?
It's this thing where it's on Amazon where they're mini books, not a bigger than a magazine
Bigger
article.
than a magazine article.
Smaller than a book.
But smaller than a book.
Smaller than a book.
And so I sent
Okay.
this book, and
It's for people who a magazine article is not enough for them. Like when they finish a magazine article,
right.
they're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
but they go, but I don't want a book.
But a book.
A book would be too
F
much.
that.
Jesus.
But boy, was that not
Right.
I want something in the middle.
So it's something between like David Sedaris
I guess that
talking about.
that hasn't kept up, has
Charlton
it?
Heston and their lovers.
Yeah, and
Which they weren't, but that was a joke.
but that was yeah. But how he was Charlton Heston's love. right?
Yeah, I tried reading Sedaris. They go, you got it. And I keep trying, and I just never get past the, hey, me and him.
One time I remember they were asking Larry Miller, you know the comedian Larry
I know
Miller,
the comedian Larry Miller.
who his biggest influence was in comedy.
I can't remember who
He said
Larry Miller is.
James Thurber.
I didn't get
He's
that
a
joke.
humorist.
As a
Well,
humor.
speaking of humorist, I could connect it to Kindle single. So I had this book already in my computer, and the guy goes, "Hey, this is good, but it's more than a Kindle. How could this be a Kindle single?" So there was a chapter about writing on Seinfeld and not fitting in and being a schmuck, and so I said, "You know the movie My Favorite Year?
Sure.
Mine's
Great
called My
movie.
Seinfeld Year because it wasn't that." Because I wasn't the best.
Yeah.
You know, here I'm the best show in TV, and it's great. Which I guess I didn't even see.
I didn't see that. I mean, I
didn't
didn't.
see the movie
I didn't see
either.
the,
I keep referring
No,
to.
I saw My Favorite Year.
Yeah. No, my
But
Seinfeld year.
My Seinfeld Year, I never saw that as. I never realized that that was what it was.
It probably
playing off of.
wasn't.
It would work a lot better if Seinfeld rhymed with favorite.
Norm, you're in this book a lot.
What?
You're in this book a lot.
No,
Do you guys have some bad blood or something?
What?
No,
There's
wait.
there's one chapter here simply titled "Norm Stole My Jacket."
No. That's a euphemism for he had me back. He had my back when I worked on a show.
Oh, all right, that makes sense. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. He.
I have not read your book because I was reading Robert Blake.
I like the.
But I told him to read your book so that one of us
He
would
did
have
tell
read
me
your
to read your
book.
book. He did. I'm not gonna lie.
But this will be great, actually, because you can tell us now stories from the book that we haven't
Yeah, you
read.
have some
We'll be
fantastic. Every time I
surprised.
hear you on a podcast, and you've done a lot, and you're always a solid guest, and I'd love to hear some.
You're doing like he's going. Do what you do on the other ones. Be better.
No, in all seriousness, I heard you on the Todd Glass one. I was laughing my ass off.
Todd Glass?
I'll be honest, that's the only
So
one I
can we
listened
just
to.
play
But-
clips of that?
So much I need to learn. Yeah.
No, you have
Yeah.
great stories.
Thank you
have great
so
stories.
much,
You were
thank
telling
you.
us some great stories.
Okay.
No, but that's not how you.
I'm saying he was. No, what I'm
But
saying
that's
is he
like
does
when
have
Paul
great
Prevent had that
stories.
show Comics Only. Hey, this is not stand-up, this is conversation. So, you go on the road a lot. Yeah, what do? We watch TV. You know that one commercial, AIDS, but it's not AIDS because of the disease, so they changed it. And, or...
He'd want to set you up for your.
Oh,
What about the time? This was what I heard because I was on Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed.
and they say, go crazy.
There you go, Chris. And the comics could.
they're
You
all
could
doing
not
the
have been
bits.
more leashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you had to submit your jokes to 6 different levels before they. But then he had no ability to segue. So it's like, Robert Schimmel, what's going on with you? He's like, what's going on with me? I'm fucking my own niece and I'm
jeez.
dying of brain cancer and all this stuff. And then he goes, oh man, Norm, I understand you have a dog. And so none of it would segue. But the funniest question is he said to John Lovitz, this was his question. He goes, he's reading off a card, he goes, now John, I understand you're growing older.
The segment producer did that for him. Well, I was on Paul Prevent had one called Comics Only.
Yes,
and it
Fred
was
Wolf was the
sidekick, who people still think I am. Andy Dick still goes, hey, Fred, you got that movie with Spade? I go, yeah, it's going good. I never correct him. He thinks I'm writing too. People think I'm Geechee Guy. Which
Whoa!
yeah, which is a compliment. The people.
Geechee Guy, I did Comics Only. No, what was it called?
The
what- there
A-list?
was the A-list. Only the top 5,000 comics got on it.
Right. They used to call it a list.
No, this was at the Laugh Factory, the one that Wayne Cotter.
Oh, you got to. This is what I guess that sets him up for great stories.
No,
the plane ride with Wayne Cotter.
With what?
The plane ride you took with Wayne Cotter.
Oh, that was
Wayne Cotter
funny.
was
I
hosting.
forgot about that.
All right, I'm stealing his story. He was hosting Comic Strip Live, which is on Saturday night, and then they're going to.
It ran from 11 till midnight on Fox.
Right, so they're going to Montreal Comedy Festival, and someone.
But
says
explain to the folks, this was a show, just like all those other shows, where it was 4 comics would do their stand-up act.
After
and you
this
would have
story,
an
we're stopping,
MC,
Billy.
right?
Do you remember?
And the
even if
MC
you-
was Wayne Cotter.
And the evening at the Improv was on twice a night on the history. No, on A&E.
Yes.
It was like during jury duty. You would have to do all these shows you didn't want to do. So they're talking about Saturday Night Live, and his show is again. He goes, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's in the news?" And he brings up comics. And so then he.
So Chris Farley had the Saturday before done the Chippendale sketch.
Oh, right.
So okay, you made the story better because you were there. So
And I wasn't on Saturday Night Live.
That's
either.
what happened.
but someone was saying.
So
hey,
we were discussing, me and Wayne Cotter on the plane.
Did you see? Come on, please. Well, I didn't.
He
indicate
left
it
to the
better.
bathroom. I said to Wayne Cotter, did you see Farley last week? He did this Chippendale sketch where he was a dancer. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then he got up in a huff and went to the bathroom. And then his wife said, you know that's his competition.
Okay, I did it wrong.
Because
Saturday Night Live is the competition. To the
Yeah, or I
guy
thought it was like
MC.
we don't talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Farley, bless his heart, man. Rest in peace. All right, guys, we're gonna cut this short there, and resume on the next video. I just love this. I love this guy. I love watching this. Hope you're all enjoying this. Hope you're all having fun watching this with me too. Much appreciated, guys. Hey, like and subscribe. Be safe.